Now, the intricacies of the Mary Maimon, Markham, Mullery case, which I hate to even say her name in the same breath as those two beautiful, innocent people, one she murdered, one she maimed. The intricacies of that case are well documented in the archives of the Courier Times. They later, or previously known as Levittown Times, later called the Bucks County Courier Times, and what a time. Levittown had to come to terms. Our sleepy little escape from Philadelphia that so many veterans and post-war families had made their way to, crept into our tiny little community of Levittown, built in most beautiful ordered sections by William Levitt, came to a crushing defeat with the blows and the bludgeoning that Mary Maimon, who should have been put away when she first killed her mother in her head in the oven when she was only 16. But no, years later her rage re-entered, a rage born of her closeted lesbianism, which she was unable to come to terms with because of the bigotry and the hatred towards lesbian people. She may have even been a transsexual, but was unable to flower in her natural surrounding because no such thing could happen, especially she was born a Catholic, and she emitted rage. She dressed as a man when she committed these crimes and scared the living piss out of every child in Levittown in 1967 until she was finally tracked down at a convent that her sister attended in Georgia and brought to justice, and she died in prison some years later. Her resentment for the Markham family was based in their daughter cut off the marriage with Mary Maimon's son mid-planning, and she blamed this on the mother, Mrs. Markham, and she went to destroy Mrs. Markham in the middle of an afternoon, saw the M, the letter M, on Peony Road in Plum Ridge on the screen door. But no, for the godforsaken Mrs. Mullery, it was the wrong G-D darn house. She went in, immediately understood the situation, bludgeoned Mrs. Mullery to death, picked up the telephone, called Mrs. Markham 2 doors down, said, "Could you please bring me some sugar? This is Lorraine Mullery, your neighbor." And in one of the saddest twists of fate you'll ever know, Mrs. Markham sent her 12-year-old daughter, Nancy, with the sugar. And Nancy walked in, and Mrs. Markham bludgeoned her within a maiming and ruined her life, and she was never functional thereafter. The sadness and the irony of Mrs. Markham that had to deal with sending her daughter with the sugar. Enough of that. As I told you, this gave me only slight distraction from my real aim in life, which was to love cute girls. My brothers were a lot older than I, and I was quite precocious. In the 4th grade, still stunned from Elaine Watson, the toothless wonder with big brown eyes, having rejected me in the 3rd grade, I laid fallow in my desire. But in 5th grade, we were assigned and separated into gifted class, and immediately I was interested in, like every other boy, Lisa. Lisa was overdeveloped in her chest. And you have to be not developing properly to not be interested in Lisa's chest. But I saw fairly soon that that was what everybody liked, so I picked different, and I picked Dawn Alsher. She of the pug nose, and again, the big brown eyes, again, every night on the radio. Come on, come on, come on and touch me, babe. Again, asking mommy to drive me by her house after dinner. And just so I could drive by and feel connected. She lived down in Pendle, a good 3-4 miles away. And mommy, what a saint, to drive me by. And similarly with Elaine in the 3rd grade, word eventually made it to Dawn Alsher of Larry's affections. No. The answer came back no. So, what to do? Me and my buddy Kenny made a habit on Sundays of making crank calls. Is your refrigerator running? This is the Maytag repairman. Is your refrigerator running? Well, then go chase it. And in one of those crank calls, Kenny called Lisa. Kenny was macho in his mind enough, oh, he's going to make a date with Lisa in the 5th grade. He thought he was hot shit and Lisa was hot shit. So he called up Lisa, hey, how about a date? And Lisa said, only if Larry will take Heather with us. Heather was a sweet girl, but she had absolutely no development in her chest. Hadn't noticed her that much. When this offer came across, I thought real quickly, and yes, Heather's kind of pretty and had long brown hair. And I told Kenny, yes, accept it. And that was my first date in the beginning of 6th grade. Kenny and I, Lisa and Heather went to the movie Let It Be by the Beatles. I got 2 kisses. Kenny got none.